Human extinction is the hypothetical end of the human species due to either natural causes such as population decline due to sub-replacement fertility, an asteroid impact or large-scale volcanism, or anthropogenic causes, also known as omnicide. For the latter, some of the many possible contributors include climate change, global nuclear annihilation, biological warfare and ecological collapse. Other scenarios center on emerging technologies, such as advanced artificial intelligence, biotechnology, or self-replicating nanobits. Scientists say there is relatively low risk of near-term human extinction due to natural causes. The likelihood of human extinction through our own activities, however, is a current area of research and debate. The study of human extinction arose relatively recently in human history. Ancient Western philosophers such as Plato, Aristotle, and Lucretius wrote of the end of humankind only as part of a cycle of renewal. Later philosophers such as Al-Ghazali, William of Ockham, and Girolamo Cardano expanded the study of logic and probability and began discussing abstract possible worlds, including a world without humans.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Environmental Coffee House. And hello, Jennifer. I am Sandy Shellis, and this is Jennifer Hines. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Sam Carana in the audience, and of course, there's always that speculation, so I'm going to open up with I don't care who Sam Carana is. We love the work. We love the Arctic news. We love you all, whoever you are. It doesn't matter. So, welcome. Yahoo. Everybody's joining up. This is really good. Yep. We got a good show for you tonight. So, what's happening, Jen?
Yeah, we've got a great show lined up for you, and I'm so excited that Sam Carana is in the house. We are actually going to read Sam Carana's latest article in the Arctic News Blogspot. Just came out April 16th. Runaway temperatures by 2026. We're going to take you through this detail by detail through all the graphs, and we're going to do the math. It's not the new math, it's the real math.
It's the real math. There you go. It is absolutely the real math. So it looks like everybody's getting comfortable. And we are going to pull up the Arctic news. I am going to...
Well, can I say what we're going to do second? I was just halfway through.
Say it. Say it, right. Sing it, do it however you need to do it.
And then after we finish having our way with Sam Carana, we're going to read an article by Jessica Wildfire.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody I didn't know about before. Wow. Jessica Wildfire.
And how did we find Jessica?
Oh, yes. It was given to me by my good friend, Jan Wiley. So Jan and I do some doomer work together off and on through the years. And he sent this to me and he said, this is a good read. And he was not wrong.
Yeah.
It's called Goblins. Cool Goblins have taken over the world and we're all doomed. Nobody's thinking rationally anymore. If you have a shred of hopium, optimism, or any hope whatsoever, run for the door now. We're not going to talk about that. It's going to be straight talk in this room only.
Yeah, tonight.
No freaking.
And I have a little intermission video of to take us into the abyss of the cliff. Yeah, I didn't make it. It's just something we're gonna have an intermission. So anyway.
Right.
Let's go for it, Jennifer. We're going to bring it up, and we are all set up with the Arctic news, and this is really Jennifer's highlight, and she will tell me what she needs from me. I'll run the show. Go
great. Yeah, well, I've been reading the Arctic News Blogspot for, I guess, near on a decade, and 8 years ago, I actually got in touch with Sam Carana on LinkedIn, and I'm like, do you mind if I use some of your charts in a little presentation I'm going to do for a few people on methane? And he was all about it.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
All right. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay too.
They'll learn.
So Yeah.
The
So
newbies.
the NASA image below. So let's go before we dive into the, words, let's take a look at that first graph, that map, right? With the
look at it.
Yeah, now these are temperature anomalies. So this is the March 2021. So this is last year, March. So a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. The anomaly in the Arctic has been astronomical for many, many years. Now, if you look at the Arctic, when we say the Arctic is heating up 3 to 4 times faster than the rest of the Earth, this is what we mean. This is a picture of Arctic amplification. And just by its very nature, you can see the Arctic is getting warmer and warmer.
That's it.
And it is screwing up the jet stream because the delta between the Arctic polar region and the temperate regions is getting smaller. So consequently, the jet stream can't be held where it is. So it's very interesting to see what's going on in that picture. And also down in South America, in that same picture, you can see there's some Antarctic amplification, but it's nowhere near the anomaly that's being shown in the Arctic itself.
Wow. Look at it.
Yeah.
The red. Yeah, it matches my foam mouthpiece here.
Very good, Sandy. I love your color coordination.
Red tonight. Oh, yes.
Just awesome.
We have to.
Okay.
Do something to zip up the stuff that we do. It's not easy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So where are we going?
So now we're going to go for the next one. This is the one with all the little dots all over it with the red line straight through, the monthly mean global surface temperature. And if I don't interpret these correctly, I would appreciate any input or correction that you have, right? So here, if we look at the 30-year average, which is basically the smoothing line right there that goes right through. The point is the shape of it, and the shape of it is going up. And that is the monthly mean global surface temperature, both land and ocean. So overall, this is kind of like the global average. Wow. You can see without a doubt, the temperature is going up. And look what he says here, 1.36 degrees Celsius since 1900.
And these are not manipulated. I mean, these are
these are
taken
30-year average. These are all the temperatures taken.
In case anybody thinks.
Several times per year. This is probably, I can't really tell, but it could be even at the monthly level. But the temperatures are taken whatever they are. We're talking about the entire Earth. So this is the globe. This is the Earth. And this is kind of the gradual rise that you can see. And you can see it's gone up 1.36 degrees C since 1900, because you can see 1900, he started at 0. So this is a temperature anomaly rise, right? So this is temperature rise from pre-industrial to March 2022. Wow. Pretty stunning.
It is.
Pretty stunning.
Good stuff, Sam Carana and company.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pictures speak thousands and thousands of words. You can get it.
Some people are not interested in graphs. We are, because we are learning as we go. Yeah, we love them. As we take this ship that we're on, we continue to at least understand. Yeah. And I'm learning so much from you, Jennifer, always, by the way.
Well, this is a great forum for all of us to learn together.
It is. It really is.
And it looks to me, I'm looking at the next one, NOAA predicts La Nina to continue. So it looks like we're entering into a La Nina state. And that is going, see the El Nino. So La Nina is a bit of a cooling period, and El Nino the surface of the ocean is hotter and causes all sorts of other things. La Nina dampens that extreme rise. So if you're in a La Nina period, it can even affect the global temperature and even it out just a little
La
bit. But
Nina.
then the El Nino always comes back. So La Nina's cool, El Nino's hot. That's the
Right.
main thing to remember. So
And
what is
I still mix it up because I have that problem with mixing things up. Is that dyslexia? I've never been diagnosed with it, but I mix them up. It's okay. I always have, so I've worked ways around it. It happens with a lot of things. Really.
Yeah.
It does. But that's okay. I'm successful no matter if I mix these things up. All right, where are we?
So I guess we're going to go down to the next one. This is global surface temperature departure. It's very difficult to read. It's very tiny text.
Let me see if I can even make it bigger. Nope, that's as big as I can get it, guys.
Yeah, no, this one is very hard to read. Something mostly. Anyway, it goes from 1850 through March 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Did I get that right, or is it 1950? It's 1950. It goes from 1950 through 2022, so that's 72 years, okay? So this is a 72-year spread, and when the temperatures are increasing, looks like there are red bands. Let me see just a little bit. I didn't do all my homework on this one.
That's okay.
Unfortunately, Sam, I have a, if I could say something to Sam, could you make these legible? Oh, this is El Nino and La Nina. It's very hard to see it.
Let's see if he's got it on
It's okay. I'm decoding it. So this is El Nino. Just hang with it. Don't go searching around, please.
Okay, madam. I got ya.
Thanks. El Nino. Okay, so in the El Nino time periods, it's red. When it's in between El Nino and La Nina, it's gray. When it's La Nina, it's blue. So you can see how La Nina affects the global temperature,
and you can see
global
my hand
surface temperature,
especially
the ocean.
Yep, as I go up by the years with the little hand up. So you guys can get it in your mind's eye. Let's see. Oh wait, he says click on the image. Oh,
click on image.
God,
can we do it?
I did it.
So much better, Sam.
Sam,
unbelievable.
Here
really?
we are, just like duh.
Really, you guys. Thank you, Sam.
I didn't realize we can turn ourselves off for a couple of minutes if we want to just look at the whole thing. Okay, so you can
see that. El Nino months.
Yeah, look at that.
Neutral months and La Nina months. So La Nina's cold, El Nino's hot, and Enso is in between.
Wow.
So over time, you can see each time we have an El Nino, it just kicks it. It kicks it into high drive. And look at this thing, what happened in 2016, Sandy. That was what, like 6 years ago, I guess, right? So this is a time when the El Nino really kicked it. And, we've been having a lot of La Nina action most recently. That's on the most right-hand side of the graph. It's pretty much like, oh, this is a brilliant graph. Totally. I really love this graph.
Yeah,
Thank you for making
you know what? I think
Sam.
I was afraid to click on it. He said the let me see. Let me put him up.
Right.
The image shows that the difference between the top of El Nino and the bottom of La Nina could be more than half a degree Celsius, Jennifer.
So interesting.
Oh my gosh. It is. It's interesting and insane. But this is where we are. So it's interesting to learn and teach.
It's interesting. It's scary.
I know.
And it's
all right.
Science.
And I won't
it's
look
science,
at this. It's science, which is something that the people out there in like Florida, they don't believe in science. I have a meme I made, but we'll do it later. They want to take math books away from
This is what he was just saying. The above NOAA image shows that the difference between the top of El Nino, I don't know if you're showing the graph, but go ahead and show that graph again, if you would, Sandy, please. And the bottom of La Nina could be more than half a degree Celsius. The next El Nino may well go hand in hand with a high number of sunspots. So I think when there are sunspots, it's actually hotter. Am I not right? Right? Sunspots make it hotter. I think that's right.
Yes.
So,
and we just recently went through a cycle, as I understand, but I am not educated in that arena. But Jim, I think Jim McHenry had posted about it.
Did he?
Yes. I don't have it queued to pull up, but that's cool. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And the next one, I can't really interpret it as well. It says blue polynomial trend based on April 2012 to March 2022. So a 10-year period data. Black polynomial trend based on 1880 to 2022 data. So I'm not sure why that is. But this is the temperature anomaly versus pre-industrial. So the trend line with both of them is up. I don't really know how to describe the difference between the blue one and the black one, though. But it's all interesting.
Well, let me get the comments up and see if Sam's here with any kind of. And I also asked if anybody has questions, put a Q. We can do that. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Wait, let me see if Jim answered. Yes. He said the latest round of sunspot is vicious, and it's way ahead of the 11-year cycle. This is interesting. We don't cover it, so we need to. We probably should find.
We need to learn about it.
Yeah, that's our.
We really need to learn about.
There's the next frontier for us. We're gonna learn. Thank you, Jim. That's awesome. So where are we now? We're showing the.
Well, I'd like to go down to the big long graph that we talked about, Sandy.
Oh, here we go.
The potential temperature rise, which has got a whole bunch stacked on top. So we're going to start at the bottom of this graph, Sandy. So the pink.
Moving on up.
The pink. So Mr. Sam Carana or Samantha, did you know it could be Samantha Carana and it's just Sam for short? We don't know.
It could be Samantha Stevens.
Sam Carana could be gender bending and we have no clue.
We have no clue, but we do know that Sam Carana is a scientist and we know, or a group of scientists.
All right. So down at the bottom of the graph, we're going to start. See where it's pink and it says pre-industrial? 3480 BC to 2020. So he's taking everything basically since the start of farming. He's going back to 5,000 years ago. That's 3480 BC is roughly more than 5,000 years ago, right? When you add the 2000 in it. So that's pretty much the start of farming, and that's called pre-industrial. So he's just taking all the temperature rise since we started tearing up the earth 5,000 years ago to the present date, 5,000 years of data. He gives it 2.29 degrees C. So all of that farming and digging stuff up and everything that we've done,
Jennifer,
has been 2.29 degrees C. Then we've got the purple one. That's 0.5. Okay, so stacked upon that, CO2 up to 2026, extra impact of CO2. Oh, well, because CO2 has a lag time before it's actually realized, right? So it takes several years for CO2 to actually, the effect of CO2 to get cooked in. So, right? Then, this is a kind of speculative one, the green one. Okay. Sulfate cooling loss, 1.9 degrees C. So that's the amount that the temperature would go up if
cumulatively.
global dimming really set in. And to have global dimming set into that effect,
The
either
aerosol masking effect. Yes.
either civilization would fall, hence all the aerosol masking would go out of the air, or on the other side, we would, clean our act up so much that we had no more sulfates going into the air. Whatever it is, if there's about almost 2 degrees C worth of the
It
aerosol
is
masking
insane
effect
when you
in
look
play
at it
right
like
now.
this. Look at this. When you
It
add up
is,
and you look at the
right?
different amounts of all these things that are
It is.
black and
Right.
brown carbon. Jennifer, did you read the article about the carbon sequestration plant that is offline because it froze in Iceland? Yeah,
I should
literally.
stop laughing. It's not funny. It's
No,
very
I know.
serious. But
I know they're trying to do something. It's supposed to be taking I don't have the number, 4 billion tons. It's so, it's a billion ton type of big thing. I don't know how it works. I read the article, glanced over it, but I was interested in the fact that the technology froze in Iceland. So I don't know if that's a good thing or
in
a bad
Greenland?
thing. No,
In
Iceland.
Greenland.
I thought it
In
was,
Iceland. Okay, you said
I
Greenland.
thought it
Okay,
was
so
Iceland.
that one in Iceland, that they were kind of
Yeah,
broadcasting and showing
yeah,
off. Their
yeah.
little showpiece
Big
stopped
one.
working because it got too cold.
Yes, yes. So I think they have
Oh.
to work on it. Let's see. Jim says David Wallace Wells says that we would need 1 billion CO2 sequester plants just to bring down CO2 20 points per million. It is kind of like pipe dreamy-ish. It is. And people are not going to not do these things.
Yeah.
And even Sam Carana's page has a plan. He has a plan. I mean, there's a plan. So,
Yeah.
Jennifer, would you like to continue this wonderful
Yeah.
graph? Oops.
All
I
right.
went-
So our
I
next
lost it.
one.
I lost. I got to go back.
All right. Well, I'll just continue anyway.
Okay. Yes,
Um,
there it is.
All right. So our next one is orange, the orange measure, and that is worth 1.6 degrees. So we're playing this temperature bingo here. This is snow, ice, wind, and ocean changes. And I'm not sure what kind they are, but I have a feeling it has to do with albedo. Like if you don't have snow, if you do have snow and then you don't have snow,
Brilliant.
clearly that's albedo change.
Brilliant.
Wind, if I guess the jet stream warming up, and I don't really know what the ocean changes are going to be, so I'm just guessing. But whatever this is of the snow, ice, wind, and ocean changes, it's worth 1.6. So now, guys, we are up to 6.7 degrees or 6.8 degrees. Holy crap, that's C. Okay, that's almost like 11 degrees or 12 degrees, I guess 12 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah.
So now we get into the quote controversial, which I don't think is controversial.
The seafloor methane.
The seafloor methane. Now that is worth 1.1. And you might say, well, if it's only worth 1.1 and everything else is worth so much, how come you guys are freaking out so much about it? And the answer is because it's fairly instantaneous, and that would just shove things along very quickly. It would raise in temperature by 1.1 degrees C if the seafloor methane started to go off in quantity. So that's how much that one is worth. Then, of course, as it gets hotter, there's going to be a lot more water vapor. In fact, for every degree C that it raises, it's 7% more water vapor in, and water vapor is the most plentiful greenhouse gas. Is water vapor. It's not carbon dioxide. The most plentiful greenhouse gas is water vapor, which is just crazy, right? And then if you add in the other greenhouse gases,
how it all works together.
Methane, carbon hydrofluorocarbons or something.
Right.
nitrous, and I guess it's not nitrous. It's not oxide, but it's something else.
It's all the above. How
all
about we just check all of the above box?
Right. That adds in to the temperature rise of a third of a degree C extra temperature rise. Now we're up to 10.5. And then there's the mysterious world of
nitrous oxide. You were right, Jennifer. It's nitrous oxide.
Was I right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's the wonderful world of clouds. And, I really don't know clouds at all. Right? You remember that song? So we really don't know clouds at all.
We really don't know them. I don't have it.
We really don't know clouds at all. And due to clouds feedbacks, and we really need to do a little bit more study, Sandy, about the clouds feedback. But we have done study about it in the past, right? So that is, and it's a very kind of nebulous, mysterious number of 8C. Right? An additional 8C. You add in the cloud feedback, which I don't understand yet.
Oh my God.
You're up to an extra 18C, right?
Oh, let's see. Sam's got for more on cloud feedback C, and then he's going to put in something, I think. Cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm so happy that he's here.
I am too.
And Jim said lack of clouds once temperature is heat up to a certain point, correct? Cloud dispersal at that point. Oh boy, clouds. We need to definitely check out the cloud interaction. We do not have a cloud specialist. Nicholas is probably the closest.
Oh, here's a little bit. There's a hyperlink in it there. Okay, so go down to the article right under the bottom of the graph. As the ocean heats up,
here we go. Cloud tipping point.
Temperature rise could be caused by the release of seafloor methane, further contributing to the clouds tipping point. See that hyperlink there?
Yeah, I'm going.
At 1200 ppm.
Here we go.
Frost, causing an extra 8 degrees C. So I'm going over to that hyperlink. And of course, as Sam says, the situation is dire and calls for comprehensive and effective action. Good luck, human beings.
So people are talking about comprehensive action, but governments are not. Governments are involved in fucking war. Oh God.
Since this cloud feedback has been assigned a rather nebulous number of 8 degrees C, and it'd be interesting to know how he got there at some point. I'm going to just read this first paragraph from his cloud feedback and cloud tipping point. It's his page on the cloud feedback. The clouds feedback refers to the disappearance of the lower clouds, more specifically the stratocumulus decks. Stratus cloud deck cover about 20% of subtropical oceans and are prevalent in the eastern portion of those oceans, for example, off the coasts of California or Peru. The clouds cool and shade the earth as they reflect the sunlight that hits them back into space. Wow. Tapio Schneider et al. Calculated that these clouds begin to break up when the carbon dioxide levels rise above the tipping point of 1200 ppm. So 1200 ppm is like
a lot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kent just said, Jennifer, Kent just said that Canadian government announced they will track climate anxiety on social media now. Okay.
Well, they better. Cool. It's going to be terrible.
Oh my God.
They better track it. That's something they can track. Disappearance of these clouds will make the temperatures go up strongly and rather abruptly. By the time CO2 levels have risen to this cloud's tipping point of 1200 ppm CO2, the temperature will have already gone up a lot in line with the warming from the rising CO2 levels. On top of this, the cloud's feedback itself triggers an additional surface warming of some 8 degrees C globally. Holy fucking crap. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's very
We're just but it's
sad.
Here we are.
That's really
There we
sad.
are.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
That's
lot of stuff there. There's
very
definitely a lot
inconvenient
of stuff
knowledge.
there.
I don't want to know it.
Well, and then but then we go to the climate plan, which is a whole plan that's been out. The most comprehensive and effective response to the danger of runaway warming contains
Right.
multiple lines of action that are best implemented
Right.
as soon as possible, simultaneously, in parallel,
Yeah.
and with a preference for local action, with obvious benefits for the environment and for species threatened with extinction. Exactly. Local level
Right.
everywhere around the world. And we had a question from I'm going to look it up because she wanted to, because I put it up on YouTube, and there had been a video, and they've been talking about this for
Right.
years. The sources for lithium using third world world child labor, and it's happening in the Congo, and it's been something on the news for a long time. So, when you talk about a climate plan and all the things that are involved, it has to include human rights.
Right.
It has to.
And it looks like in this cloud page, and I'd like to put this cloud feedback page in the show notes if we could, Sandy, because it's really good.
I absolutely will.
There's a video. We're not going to play it now. It's like 46 minutes long or something like that.
All right.
At the bottom of the page, right? And it's called Clouds and the Climate Tipping Point.
Ooh.
By that guy, Tapio Schneider.
Awesome.
So that's probably it's 46 minutes long. Yeah. So that looks there. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of great stuff. Sam Carana, you've got crazy with knowledge here. Look at this. There are 2 other videos in there.
This is wonderful.
This is a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you
Dr.
so much.
Tapio Schneider, Earth
so much.
System. Oh yeah, no, he's the best. Earth System Modeling 2.0 by Dr. Tapio Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks good. Oh my goodness, that looks like a really good one. And then there's one more video in here. AI accelerated climate modeling by Tapio Schneider. So Tapio Schneider is the guy. He is the guy.
Beryl
and
knows about this.
Yeah.
Yes, she
He's
does.
the guy.
She's an AI PhD.
We haven't paid enough attention to clouds. We really didn't know clouds at all. So this is something for all you global warming, want to understand the cloud effects.
Look at
dig
this.
into this
lot of
page
good stuff.
And just go. There are so many articles in hyperlinks, so you can really learn a lot if you want to throw yourself
Hi,
in
Tom. There. Oh, Tom Hall's with us. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
He's going to invest in beer futures. Yeah. So, so the resource is here. Nobody can say that the resources are not here. All of these are valid, wonderful resources. Wonderful resources. Look at this. Yeah. There's that.
So thank you, Sam Carana, for all the good work you've done over the years. You've really helped wake a lot of people up, me included.
Yep.
All right. So I don't know, Sandy. What do you think?
Well,
Shall we go on to the next one?
We have a little breathing intermission kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that we would do a little bit of an intermission little video so that I could get up because my back is killing me. And no, we're going to play it now. And you need a break, guys. And Sam says, thanks and you're welcome. Yeah, we will do this again. We totally enjoyed doing the Sam Carana show. I mean, it is one of the best. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you. And we're going to do the intermission. And then we have this really cool article, and that'll bring us to the hour. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? New York City, in the year 2022. Nothing runs anymore. Nothing works. But the people are the same. And the people will do anything to get what they need.
This is the police.
What they need most is Soylent Green.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? Detective Sergeant Thorne. He has a 2-year backlog of unsolved murders. Now he's on a case that must be solved. Saul Roth, Thorne's private library.
Hey, Saul.
A living book in a world without books.
Have some pencils, courtesy of your next assignment. William R. Simonson.
Simonson. He was the first to learn the secret of Soylent Green.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Saul Roth was the next to know.
How do we come to this?
And he chose to die rather than reveal the secret of Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Why did you set up Simonson?
I didn't. Cheryl.
See your hands.
Officially, she's furniture. She comes with the apartment. She belongs to the tenant.
How many times you been in trouble with the police, Cheryl?
Never.
Can't hear you.
Never.
Captain Hatcher. First, he wanted this case solved.
Simonson, what do you say?
It was an assassination.
Now, he just wants it
Who
closed.
bought you? High and hot, and they want this case closed permanently. Their way. Now, you sign this.
You sign it!
Thorne refuses to close the Simonson case.
Just do what you have to do. Where did you go with Simonson?
He took me to church.
Church.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 months since my last confession.
Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Chuck Connors, Lee Taylor Young, Brock Peters, Paula Kelly, and Joseph Cotton fight for survival and try to solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind. The search for the secret of Soylent Green. You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We've got to stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Please!
Okay.
Wow.
We
That
are
was
back.
a great movie. I remember when that came out.
We are back.
Crazy
2022,
stuff.
it says right in the beginning. That was the trailer.
I know. That's
That
crazy,
was the trailer.
right?
The trailer's from 1973. And I thought it would be a wonderful way for me to take an intermission. And I didn't make it. And it didn't get a copyright or anything because it's just a trailer.
Yes.
So there
Oh,
you
lovely.
go. Yeah. Now we are going to go over to the next article, but I want to explain one thing because somebody asked in the beginning, and truly I gasped. The reason why Jennifer and I are doing this tonight is because I'm going away and we're not going to be able to do our Sunday show. And I'll be with my mom and my 2 brothers. And I won't be back for like a week. And we have things coming up. So we decided to give you guys a treat tonight.
It was spontaneous. Sandy called me this morning when I was in a conference call, and she's like, Jen, let's do a show tonight. And I'm like, yeah.
And we pulled it together, and it's wonderful. As we always have a wonderful show. Okay, well, now we are going to, we are wonderful there. Oh, I wish I had Eric Clapton wonderful tonight. All right. This one I'll start, and we'll tag team.
Yes.
Jessica Wildfire. She's cooler than shit, actually, or at least what I saw. And again,
She's radical.
Jan sent this. Our friend Jennifer's very good friend. Okay, Taiwan had just issued an official survival handbook to all of its citizens. The guide tells them how to prepare for a military invasion. It includes tips on how to locate bomb shelters and drinkable water, and it literally depicts civilians and children running from tattered buildings. They're also training civilians, and some of them are even taking it upon themselves to form groups. So that's nice. America isn't helping. We recently sold Taiwan a $95 million missile system that experts call mainly a morale booster. Nancy Pelosi also scheduled a visit there that seems deliberately designed to provoke tensions, right? America says it wants peace. I think we want the opposite. I think we're trying to trigger someone. The average optimist keeps swiping at doomsayers. They kept telling us there's no reason to panic about bad things happening. They explain all of the logical reasons why this or that country would never take certain actions, like invading a neighbor or killing their own citizens. They complain about cities like Philadelphia for prematurely reinstating mask mandates. They constantly criticize us for overreacting. Well, here's the problem with that. They're always wrong. 2021 was the deadliest year in history. New reports are telling us that more Americans died last year than any other in our recorded history, including wars. And it wasn't just COVID. It was also overdoses because people need heavy amounts of drugs to escape the world our leaders have created for them. And I'm giving that the absolute toilet flush of the day, Jennifer.
Absolutely.
Because we are flushing those leaders away. Well, 2022 will probably be worse. Take it away, Jennifer.
A few months ago, so-called alarmists were trying to warn everyone about a variant called Omicron. They begged people to resist the narrative that it was mild and that catching it was good for you. Almost nobody listened. Politicians and pundits continued cranking out exhortations to ignore the threat. The latest polls showed that a staggering 18 million people in the U.S. now have long COVID, as predicted. That's 7% of the population. We're seeing
Jen?
an acute... Yes?
Oh. Can I interrupt for 1 sec? I wanted to tell you, I was watching the virologists on TWIV, This Week in Virology, and on Vincent Racaniello's channel. And they were talking about the long COVID, and they said that it's probably now going to be broken up into two different things, like a separate disease, because it causes either like a whole immune response to your body, or it can cause the lung problems. So the lung, the heart, or the immune. So these studies are actually going on, and I had to get it out of myself because I just learned this listening to them before I came on to our show, actually. So I wanted to interject.
Absolutely.
Anybody wants to learn all about that, that's a good channel. I'll put a link in the notes. I think I talked about it once before. Yep. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So for long COVID, that's 7% of the population. We're seeing an acute rise in heart attack and blood clots in healthy people, on top of cognitive problems. Businesses can't find enough workers. Hospitals can't find enough nurses. Schools can't find enough teachers. It's crippling our precious economy. Our leaders are hearing all this bad news, and they're not slowing down. Even as we feel the crushing weight of our own sanctions reflected in the highest inflation in decades. Our leaders seem to be ramping up yet again another war that we don't have a prayer of winning. They want more of that. Our leaders are making terrible decisions. The people in charge of our nations right now are the worst hope mongers you could ask for. They're making horrible choices. We'd honestly be better off if they just stayed home and did absolutely nothing. They're not responding to our problems with answers and solutions.
For Matt. No.
They're responding with false assurances. They're lying to us about almost everything, and they're not even good lies. Putin's price hike? Give me a break. Our leaders have embraced the most delusional thinking when it comes to war, famine, and climate change. They're actively ignoring the drought and disease that are withering our food supply. They're pretending that outdated tools like sanctions and oil reserve dumps are going to solve our immediate crisis when they won't. They're just making things worse. What our own Western leaders could do for once is just shut up and pay attention to our problems. It would be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be nice. They're losing their grip on reality. Nobody's in charge. Nobody in charge is acting with common sense right now. It's not rational to lock down a city of 26 million people and then forget to feed them. It's not rational to make looming global food shortages worse by hoarding tons of grain. It's definitely not rational to fly warplanes over a country you rely on for talent and technology. It's not rational to emerge from a pandemic and then immediately decide you want to invade another country. Now let's talk about the West. It's not rational to say you want peace and then do everything you can to start more wars. It's not rational to sell billions of dollars in weapons when people really need food and shelter. It's not rational to tell your citizens they should budget hundreds of dollars a month for higher prices on everything when they're already living from paycheck to paycheck. It's not rational to say you're going to surge oil production and consumption and worry about the consequences later when you know those consequences will kill millions of people. It's not rational to chop down the world's largest rainforest to grow your own economy at the expense of future civilization. It's not rational to let yourself become reliant on other countries for all your needs, then try and boss them around. It's not rational to keep making the same mistakes over and over and telling everyone it'll go different this time. I mean, is it? Everyone's getting more desperate. Most people, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Most
And it
people out
doesn't
there
stop.
don't want to alter their behavior. They don't want to change their lifestyles. They don't want to put up with the slightest inconvenience. Look how they act when you ask. Their denialism just gets worse. Their optimism grows fangs. We're seeing the tip of the consequences now. Everyone's starting to see what happens when they all get what they want. This is the world on disease and famine, the direct consequences of unchecked consumption and total freedom. Next, we're going to see what happens when we continue our self destructive reliance on fossil fuels. We're going to see what happens when we try and control countries we depend on for raw resources and once again use human rights as an excuse to impose our will.
Exactly what Patty was asking. Exactly.
Yes.
Bingo, boom. Boom, boom,
Bingo,
boom.
bingo, boom.
Yep.
It's not going to end well. Not for anyone. Be careful what you wish for. A number of major companies have started to beg Western leaders to ease up on their sanctions. For example, Airbus recently confided that they rely on Russia for half their titanium.
God, I want to
This
pass
is
out.
what some of us tried to explain. We can't control countries with powerful economies. We can only pretend. Yes, the world can live without more planes for now, but that's just the beginning of the pain. There's more coming. The people cheering right now and not preparing for serious hard times ahead are going to regret it all. Are going to regret all the confidences and arrogance they showed. Some comeuppance there, Sandy. Some
Yes.
of them will even wonder if we made the right call, and maybe we didn't. We're not ready for that. We're also not ready for what comes from flooding the world with more oil. Our leaders have stopped thinking about long term consequences. They're desperate for ratings and approval
Oh,
bumps. They're urging
so good.
everyone else to make the same dumb decisions. We have a way of wishing for all the wrong things. Then we get them. We regret it.
Oh no!
The
The
world
world is
is
run by
run by
goblins.
goblins. Woo! God.
There's a new term out there. Goblin mode.
All right, that's
It
where we
sounds
are.
funny. It sounds
Oof.
funny, but there's a serious undertone here. Nobody seems to care anymore. They're giving up. They're letting their worst selves
It's
out.
true.
They're hoarding food, even gold. They're indulging in conspiracy theories. They're cursing each other out online. They're letting their health go. In some ways, it feels like the only rational response left. It's hard to see the point of it all when you read about corporations draining entire lakes to feed their data centers and bottling factories. Ugh. It's hard to stay positive and productive when you hear about homes losing all their value as cities run out of water. It's hard to pay attention to that Monday morning Zoom call when you see people going to jail over medical bills. It's cute when we talk about spending all day in our pajamas. It's not so cute when nations decide, screw it, let's have the nuclear war we always wanted. It's not so cute when they decide, hey, let's drown the world in fossil fuels and see what happens. Or let's infect everyone with a deadly plague over and over again for a decade and see what happens.
We're seeing it.
So, next time you hear someone dismiss a warning and then explain why something will never happen, remember one thing: the world isn't run by rational people anymore. It's
That
run
was good.
by
Goblins.
goblins.
She calls
Goblins.
herself an influencer. She's an influencer. And that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like she had her finger on the pulse. She's a young woman. She sees what's going on. Obviously, she is studied of some world affairs, and it worked.
Mhm.
Jennifer, he was right. He
Mhm.
gave us a good
Yeah.
article.
Did
Yeah.
indeed.
So wow, we've been 55 minutes tonight. It's been a good show. We've got a lot of people out
yes,
there.
we do.
I want to say hi. Mindy's with us tonight.
Hi, Mindy.
Yeah. Hi, Mindy. And let's see. Denver asked, "What will you do when gas is $20 a gallon?" Stay home. Or
Don't
maybe
drive.
don't drive, or maybe look. Maybe that's when they're gonna kick it into alternos. Alterno. Oh, Tanya
Yeah,
really
I
liked
know.
the article. Tanya
Oh,
liked the
yeah?
article. Good,
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 good.
good, good. As Cindy says, goblins is too nice of a word. Yeah, too nice of a word. Hi, Kate. Hi, Stephen. All right. Wow. Mindy says, actually, there aren't too many people. Look at death rates and birth rates. The climates and chemicals in our food are killing us. And according to, according to the Republican Party, at least I could show this, they are, I think their new mantra for the GQP is pure white balls. So
Dear God.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. I took the picture, which is real, from Tucker Carlson's show, and I edited it. Oh my
You're
God.
getting so clever, Sandy.
Yeah, well, so Patty, you're right. That's what the cause of the sperm count going down. This is the whole thing is, turning into a men-centric thing. It's kind of a little pathetic, but yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, Jennifer, would you like to offer any? Don't forget. Thank you. By the way, buy us a coffee, and thank you for buying us coffees. Everybody, Cindy, all of you, you're wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I think that in times of great stress and great despair can also be great creativity, as our Jessica Wildfire has demonstrated. Isn't she a little firecracker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her writing, and
Yeah.
that's good. And we're gonna
And
have
we did the
spell
math.
check.
We did the math today with
Mm-hmm.
Sam Carana. And Sam Carana even
Absolutely.
came to our show, which we're so pleased that he saw fit to come to our show. So we
And Sam,
did
if
the
you're still
math,
here,
and
thanks.
we came up with truly scary numbers. If you read a book, I can't remember the author, Mark Linus or something, 6 Degrees.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very good. And you can see that this is not like a small amount. This is like more than the amount that it would take to extinct life on Earth. At 4 degrees C, the civilization starts to break down, you know, and this is going all
Well,
the way to 18 degrees C. So, yeah, this has been a really sobering show, and nothing like it. Nothing like a little dose of reality to slap you in the face.
yeah, well,
Right,
that's the
Sandy?
night. We were certainly not dishing out the hopium tonight. Neither was Jessica and Wildfire. Jessica
Yeah.
Wildfire. I'm gonna clip it and send it to her. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
why not? All right, guys. Well, Jim says great show tonight. He's in the panic phase. Well, don't be panicky. We're all here. We know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, how many times can you panic? It's more like
Yeah.
just be active in your community and get ready to do shit. And I can see that's happening in my community because I'm going to get involved in not getting fracked, not letting our where we are get fracked. All right, guys. Thank you, Jennifer. I will see you when I
Yeah,
get
thank
back,
you.
and we will figure out. I'll try to get the dates. I don't know if I'm gonna have anything on. I didn't have time to make videos for like a Friday night premiere kind of thing, but we shall
Uh-huh.
see.
All right.
If not, we're not back till next week. And Earth Day is Friday. That's right. Jim McHenry said Earth Day is
Thank
Friday.
you, Jim.
You know what? Maybe I'll try to come in on a live stream or something
Thank you,
from
Jim.
with my mother. Maybe I'll bring my mother on. All right. Good night, everybody. Let me make sure
Good
I
night.
got all the music, and we are heading off.